Imagine an early morning at a truck stop in Jyväskylä, Finland. A city that doesn't ask much of you, nor does it leave much behind. It's one of those places that doesn't try to impress. You pass through it, do what you came to do, and move on. And somehow that feels appropriate today. Moving on, I mean. Because today's winter solstice. The most emotionally demanding festivity. Well, at least for me. It's the darkest day of the year. There won't be less light than this. But from here on out, even if it's only by seconds at first, the days start turning back towards something brighter. And I'm happy about that. Not because today's easy. It isn't. But because today's the turning point. You see, this is it. This is as dark as it gets. And after this, even though you can't see it yet, things are already changing. So we'll sit here for a moment, just watching traffic move by in this roundabout. And let this morning be what it is. Then we'll do what we always do. We'll point the truck forward. We're heading to Mikkeli, Finland. No guarantees, no plan beyond movement, just hope. And with a little luck, there's work waiting for us there. Sometimes that's all you need. Hope and a little bit of luck to give you a reason to keep going. So let's get back on the road. Let's get back on these Truck Sim Diaries. And in this video series, I record my Euro Truck Simulator 2 gameplay, and I use it as a backdrop for my unscripted thoughts on what's going on in my life and the world around me. Sometimes I will have a lot to say. Sometimes I'll just comment on the gameplay, and sometimes I'll just be quiet. Either way, I am glad you're here. So let's see about making it out of this town that I've never heard of before, and I'm not sure if I'll hear about it again. Now, before we do anything else, let's recap our progress in the Truck Sim Diaries Cruising Nordic Horizons event. If you don't know what that is, it's an event we're running based on the World of Trucks community event, where we're going to do a delivery to or from all of the cities in the latest DLC release, Nordic Horizons. Right now, we are in Jyväskylä, and the plan is to do a dry run without cargo to Mikkeli, Finland. And from there, we're just gonna see where the road takes us. And another note on the gameplay here, I am running a modded game to reflect the real world weather where I live in Sweden. Also, I've set the game to match the date of recording, which will have an impact on the daylight hours, especially today and especially in the north. This is to give you the real immersive experience and to let you know what kind of environment I'm coming from at the time of recording. Let's continue.
Here we go.
There we go.
Get ready. Turn left. Turn left.
And when I say festivity, that might be an overstatement. It is not like winter solstice is something we celebrate. There's no like days off or cake or anything like that. There's no winter solstice curtains coming up. Although maybe there should be, because
Turn right.
just when everyone needs it the most, this day kind of sneaks up on you. Because it is very dark. Today the sunrise is almost by 9 o'clock, and the sun is going to be down before 20 minutes to 3, where I live. And then the further up north you go, they still don't have any sunlight at all yet. But reflecting on this day is good for me, because even though it's just by a couple seconds every day, the days are getting longer. I talked to a guy on one of the Truck Sim Discord channels, and he said that today he has got sunlight until like 4:30 or something like that. And I told him that I won't have that kind of, the sun won't set that late until the middle of February. But then I got to thinking, middle of February, that's,
Straight on.
by an adult's standard, that's not very far. So pretty soon we're gonna be in daylight late into the afternoon. And speaking of the sun, today has, even though like I've told you earlier in the last couple of episodes, it's been extremely dark in Sweden. There's no snow. We're in just a couple days from Christmas now, actually. And there's no snow, and for the better part of November and like the entirety of December this far, there's been a cloud cover and rain every single day. And today we actually have clear blue skies, and I took my wife and kids out on a walk into the woods, and we just got to stand in the sunshine. I think December so far we got like 30 minutes of sunshine.
Straight on.
Totally. And that's not a lot at all. But yeah, it was fantastic. We had one of the darkest days of the year has actually been one of the brightest days of the year. And we all got Christmas leave is here, so everything at work is done. All we got to do now is just relax, take care of each other, and just enjoy the rest of the year. Enjoy Christmas, enjoy New Year's, and then hopefully we'll be a little rested come January, and all the obligations.
At
But
the roundabout, take the first.
yeah, until then, relaxation. Hopefully I will get some trucking in. I'm looking forward
Exit
to
now.
this Christmas leave. I've been looking forward to this a lot.
Turn left.
And yeah, here we are. And like I said, we are in Mikkeli, Finland. And looking at the jobs here, it's only these 5 jobs that are on offer. And only one of them will count towards our Cruising Nordic Horizons event. And that's taking this beef to Norway. So let's see, we just get to it. Let's get some beef to Norway.
Let's go. Turn right. At the roundabout, take the third exit. Exit now. Get ready to turn right. Turn right. Get ready to turn right. Turn right. This is where it goes.
And if you hear screaming in the background, that's my kids. They are off from school. My wife is away, and you know what they say, when the cat is away, the rats take charge. So we are gaming. We're trying to limit their screen time, but I don't think when they play video games together, it's such a nice, they play so nice, like it's a good fun experience for them. So you know, every now and then, I don't really think it counts. I guess one thing when they're alone and just endlessly scrolling. They're not scrolling, but like, I don't know. Passively, let's say passively looking at something. They don't have any kind of social media or anything like that. My daughter is 9 and my son is 7 years old. So obviously they are not online in any capacity at all. And I intend to keep it that way for as long as possible, because there is nothing that's going to make them anything but sad online. So I want to kind of keep them. I want to keep them away from that for as long as I possibly can. I know it's not going to be. I'm not going to be able to do that forever, but you know, for now. But they do have, you know, streaming services, stuff like that. Alright, let's load this cargo. We got 23 tons of beef. We're taking it from Mikkeli, Finland to Nutrimølle in Hamar, Norway. We're gonna go for 1,073 kilometers. We got fuel for 821 kilometers. ETA is in-game time 23 hours and 13 minutes. We need to rest in 11 hours and 8 minutes. So before we leave, let's plan our rest stop. And let's see, we need to, what did I say? We need to sleep in 11 hours. And we're 5 hours from the ferry. The ferry's gonna be more than enough sleep, so we probably won't have to do any more sleeping than that. So without further ado, let's do this. And just as the sun is rising, we're on the move. Yeah, about kids' screen time. I am very afraid of the future, because just, you know, the way things are going with the online presence of a human being, I know they are, like, obviously, most of all my daughter, she's very eager to go online because she knows that there's a lot of, you know, she can find a lot of her interests online. I can't keep her from doing it, of course. But I don't know, you know, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I can't save her from everything. I can't keep every bad experience away from her. So, you know, I guess going slow and doing it together, and just kind of let her, just explain to her, kind of, and him when the time comes, you know, that it is easy to find things that, I've already talked to him about this, like, it is very easy to find things that make you sad online. Of course, they can't, like, grasp what I, all of what I mean by that, like how, going online you will find things that you like, and the things that you like will make you sad. It just doesn't compute for them, of course. I understand that. It's just that, I'm so afraid I'm not going to be able to do it right. But I guess baby steps is, how we're going to go about it. And I can already tell that, the way we do it, me and my wife, we're pretty strict on a lot of things. And they're, they have a couple friends that have parents that are the same as we are with screen time and phones and stuff like that. And they also have friends whose parents aren't, who lets their kids just sit by the screen. You can make a kid just disappear. Just give them a screen and they'll just be gone. So if you're a parent and you feel like it's a bit much, just give them a screen and they'll disappear. But
Take the second exit.
it comes at a cost. Because there's a lot of kids who can't be without the screen. It's really sad to see. And I don't want my kids to... I want my kids to experience that. So like there's no way for me to control. I can only control what I do to my kids. I cannot control what other parents do to their kids. There's no way to... I'm just gonna have to accept it and just suffer the consequences and help my kids through the, consequences of it. My son had his like
Turn left.
a really bad experience because he has a friend whose parents aren't really paying attention. So this little kid, he figured out how to play when they were 6. So this is like last year. This kid figured out how to look at Squid Game, which is obviously not suitable for 6-year-olds. And my son, he showed this to my son, and my son was, he was scared shitless, couldn't sleep, for days. And he was afraid to tell me and his mother anything, but at last he kind of came clean with what had happened. And I remember when I was a kid, and I was online without supervision and all the horrible things I've seen. I still get like, when you start thinking about something horrific, you just want to get it out of your mind, but you can't. I got a couple of those things that when I start thinking about it, I still find it absolutely horrific. And I just stumbled on that shit as a kid, and it can be traumatizing for sure. And I don't know what's the best way to deal with something like that. Be understanding, I suppose. But it's just, I want to protect them from everything, but that's impossible. I can't make their mistakes for them, and they're just gonna have to make their mistakes on their own. They're so damn precious before everything gets to them. Like, I don't want my daughter to be exposed to the beauty standards of the online environment. That is something that every year that goes by, ever since I was a kid, it's just gotten worse. With young girls, what they put in young girls' minds that they need to do to themselves to, I don't know, look the part. I just wish I could remove that, but there's no way to do that. So we're just gonna have to learn how to roll with it. And speaking of beautiful days, I had a fantastic day yesterday with my wife. We went on a brand new hiking trail around a lake not too far from where we live. It was a 14-kilometer hike, and we found this great place to stop for lunch, overlooking the marshlands. And as we were sitting there, a sea eagle just lands just maybe 30 meters in front of us, and does its thing for a little bit, and then it takes off this huge fucking, like, just gigantic bird. And I don't think I've ever seen one in my life, and especially not that close. I got some great footage of it. And the hiking trail was really nice, just walking along the lake. The weather was, well, today we had clear skies, absolutely clear skies. The sun is actually setting outside my window right now. But yesterday was nice as well. We got to see, there was some clouds, but not a total cloud coverage. Beautiful views over the ocean. It was great. And we kind of didn't plan ahead, so it just came out of nowhere that this opportunity just showed itself that we could do this. And we asked our neighbors if they could watch our kids. Their kids are best friends with our kids, so everyone kind of, it's this really good, we're in this really good position right now where, my kids' best friends are the neighbors' kids. We get along really well. That's great. We should use that opportunity a lot more than we do. Everyone, both us and them, are kind of, we're a little hesitant to ask, for help. And it's this thing that I kind of want to move away from a little bit, where, like, I like to help people with all different kinds of things that I can help people with. But, like, having the neighbors' kids over for a day, that makes our life easier. Our kids all the kids are just happy. So we really should offer it a bit more, and also the hard part is to ask for it a bit more. I mean, they know that they can ask us, but up until now, it has only been like we only ask when it's an emergency, and we should be able to do it, more often. It shouldn't be an emergency. Like, I could tell when I was, out with my wife. She, like I've talked about multiple times, she works a lot. Her job is her passion in life. And she really needed to get out in the woods. She was she was talking like nonstop for the first half, just whatever was on her mind kind of stuff. But like in the second part of the half, I don't think I've heard her be quiet for that long, consecutively. Must have set some kind of record. And when you get into that, monotonous hiking, drone, where you just take one foot in front of the other and just keep going. Nature has this soothing effect on you. It is just low enough, input that your mind, I could tell that her mind was, racing. Her thoughts were racing at the beginning. And just let the thoughts run free until their legs get tired and they just fucking stop. That's one of the best, the meditative aspects of hiking. That's kind of, I guess that's kind of what we look for. in it. You know what I mean? And I could tell that. Well, I mean, she said so also,
Go
but
straight on, and then
I
turn
could
left.
really tell that yesterday was really good for her. It's not like she hasn't been out in the woods before, but yeah, it was some great timing. Just first day of the Christmas leave, and just go out and clear your head like that. You know, I feel that, you know, I've taken responsibility for my own mental state, and just making sure that I make sure that I get that, you know? I make sure that I can go out and clear my head and just let my mind rest, let my body work, you know, get everything good that comes from spending time out in nature. But what I haven't done is focus enough on getting her to go out, and because I could do it a lot more. I could be a lot better at it than what I have been thus far. And yeah, I could have done a lot better this year with that, because she needs, you know, she won't do it on her own. She needs a little push. And yeah, this year I could have been a lot better at pushing her, you know, just enough to get over the hump of not getting stuck into like the routine of everyday life. work-wise, my transition from working to having time off for Christmas worked out a breeze. It was really good. I had one little stressful moment with, like, of course, everyone just a couple days before Christmas leave, everyone's like, oh shit, I got this thing that I really want done. But, you know, I'm old enough to say no. Thankfully, what I did was, one of the last things I did was, I had to do a couple things for this grocery store cargo depot, where the depot where they load everything, you know, up on the trucks, and the trucks bring them out to all the grocery stores in the area. So it's this huge warehouse that's basically a big cooler. It was some stuff to take, nothing major, but I got to walk around there and just take a look at, you know, what it looks like when the truck drivers go in and load their cargo onto their trucks and stuff like that. And I also had a couple things to do, you know, externally. And you know how in this game we drive semi-trailer trucks? It's the only truck model that exists. You see how the truck and the trailer are two parts? Like, the trailer has rear wheels, but the trailer doesn't have any front wheels, so it's connected to the truck, and the truck is this tractor truck. It's a semi-trailer truck, an articulated semi-trailer truck, and the articulated part means that, you know, where the trailer and the truck connects, it's articulated. That's the most common truck and trailer combination throughout Europe, but it is not very common to see these kind of truck and trailer combinations in Sweden, because most of the trucks that we have here are called rigid trucks with trailers. So the box part that we have as a separate trailer here, that is attached, so the truck body is a lot longer, and the front box is attached to the truck, and then it has its completely different trailer that has its separate box. So it's basically the trailer and truck contains of these two boxes, so you get more cargo. It's the reason why that's not, you know, common. That's not, you know, the common practice all around Europe, is because every country in Europe has its own laws on how long a truck and trailer combination is allowed to be. And these semi-trailer trucks with just one trailer like this, they're a little shorter. They're like 15 or 16 meters, something like that. Whereas the rigid trucks with trailers, they can be 25 meters. So more cargo, heavier load, more axles, you know, stuff like that. They're, you know, every other country or so allows them, but not everyone. And Euro Truck Simulator, so thus far, only have the semi-trailer kind of truck and trailer combination. Anyway, when I was working on the external of the cargo depot, the trucks were coming in, just you know, backing into the ramp, loading their cargo, and then heading on out again. Well, I was looking at this guy who was backing up this rigid truck and trailer combination, and he was having a bad day. He just didn't go his way. He couldn't, like, he had to do so many do-overs. And I mean, he was old enough to, it didn't look like, you know, he might have just recently just started working with it. But yeah, it was not going his way. And he had to do it over and over and over again. I could see that he got more and more frustrated. And it probably didn't help with me standing there just looking at it, taking pictures. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't taking pictures. But yeah, I really felt bad for that poor guy. He just wanted to get there and move on. So he was probably late by the time he got out of there. All right, let's go to Sweden.
Go straight on.
That was our rests. We got about 27 more minutes of real world driving, 505 kilometers. We got fuel for 419, so it's about time to refuel this thing. It is almost midnight. Sunlight is not for more than 9 hours.
Turn right.
let's take a look at some questions. I want to find something light. I have a lot of heavy questions here. This first question: do stupid people know they are stupid? No, we don't. We think we're pretty smart. So there's that. But I think it takes a lot of a person to come to the realization that they are not smart. I don't think, I got some street smarts, and I know how to, like by habit, I know how to, handle difficult situations. But I don't consider myself to be a very smart person. I wouldn't go so far as to say that I'm stupid, but I really feel like an outsider when I'm with my wife and kids. They are all much smarter than I am. I can solve some problems if that's your, if, hey, look, we're home. I can solve problems and get out of situations that kind of stuff. But when I'm listening to my wife and kids, when my wife helps my kids in school, and when they're learning math, and when they're just doing their everyday things, I'm so happy that they got her brains. My wife is a very smart person. In a way that I am absolutely not. And my kids have that too, in a way that I am absolutely not. A lot of times I just find myself observing them and be like, I'm just amazed at how quickly they can just take in information, learn, and remember stuff in a way that I just can't. My wife probably wouldn't agree, but she's also very kind. Like I said, I don't think I'm stupid or anything. I am just not on their level at all. I'm very happy that they are on the level that they're at, but man, I am just not there. I've always struggled with math. I am so embarrassed by it. At work, on my day-to-day life, I really, really struggle with it. It is very hard for me. And it's been plaguing me. I've been avoiding it all my life. I wish I could have had more guidance when I was a kid. Because maybe, if someone could have helped me with it, it wouldn't have become this huge issue for me. My son, when he's 7 now, but when he was 6, he could be like, Dad, give me some math questions. And I'm like, all right, what's 2 times 3? And he's like, 6, give me some more. And I'm like, fuck, that's all I had, That's all I had. I fucking, I can tell them, what's 5 times 12? And he'll give me an answer, and I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know. And I have to use a calculator, and he knows, he's got it. But I don't. And he's 6 years old. That is that part of the, DNA schematic.
Go straight on.
At the point of creation, they did not read my schematics on, because that's fucking, I just don't have that in me. And it's been like that my entire life. I remember in school, the things the tricks I pulled to get by, amazing. Like I've told you earlier, I grew up kind of alone without guidance. So I just figured out, you know, I got the skills to make it through life by in whatever way I could, you know.
At the roundabout.
But it is not, and it is not by doing it the way you're supposed to do. It was always some other way, some tweak or some trick or something like that.
Exit now.
But I am so proud of them. I just feel a little bit on the, like, I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm on the outside looking in, like, and I also find myself being jealous. Like, there are a lot of emotions going on here in this subject.
Roundabout. Take the third.
But like, my daughter's 10, my son is 7, and I can't help them with school stuff. Like, I can help them with some school stuff. But like, fuck, man, sometimes I'm like struggling to find a role, you know? Like, a job. What do they need me for, you know? I mean, I know that I have a role to fill. I know that I will be able to help them with a lot of things. Like, there are a lot of skills that I have that I can, you know, that I can teach them. And I know a lot about what not to do as a parent, but I don't know what to do. And there are a lot of things that I just can't help them with. It's like all through, I got this early grade school, yeah, sure. But like, man, I don't know. There's so much my kids teach me, and I'm just looking at it like this. I'm just a huge idiot. I'm like, oh, really? Like, they tell me things that they learn, and I'm like, and they tell me, and I'm like learning by, you know, they teach me, you know, and I was prepared for that. Just this soon, I wasn't prepared for it this soon. Jesus. And the thing is that most of the things that I know that I'm like, I feel like I can, like, where I can, you know, be an asset, is when something happens that hopefully will never happen, like when something goes wrong. I mean, that's good to have, and I know that they need me for emotional support, and they need me as a dad. Like, I'm not saying I can just up and leave or anything like that. It's not like that at all. It's just that, you know, sometimes I struggle to find my, you know, day-to-day immediate worth as a father. Like, discounting the being there and being a male role model. Why, you know, that's not nothing, I suppose. But it's not obvious from my point of view. So sometimes, quite often, I feel a little useless.
At the roundabout.
Alright, let's put some fuel in this truck. $666. That sounds like an omen to me.
Never mind. I'll find a new route. Get ready. Turn left. Turn left.
Alright, next question. Could you go a whole day without saying no? And absolutely not. Because like I said, I have kids. I am, however, trying to work on saying yes a bit more. Like, this is all about mostly concerning, like, doing things that other people suggest. Because normally I got this backlog of things. There's always this backlog of things that I want to do. I always want to do some trucking. I always want to work out. I always want to Oh, this is a famous place in Borlänge. It's not called Oasen, which means oasis. It's called Kupolen, but I guess that's copyright. Anyway, there's always something that I want to do for myself. Be it trucking, working out, going hiking, going mountain biking, going kayaking, or
Straight on.
something else. Always. And I am always short on time. Because my backlog of things that I want to do for myself will always, I will never run out of things. Like I said, I could spend full time on just doing things things for myself. I would love to not have to work a day in my life, and I wouldn't have a minute left. I don't know what it's like to be bored. I can't be bored.
Exit now.
Because there's just so many things to do. So, when someone suggests something, I am inclined to say no, and I almost always do. Well, not always, but a lot of times I'm like, yeah, when someone suggests something. And this goes for this includes my wife. When she's like, maybe we should watch this movie, maybe we should go do this thing. Of course, I don't always say no to everything with her, but when she suggests something that's outside of my comfort zone, I'm a bit of a naysayer. I gotta admit. And that's not a fun person. I want to be the yes sayer. That's like positive to, yes, let's do the thing that you wanted to do. Of course, and I want to be the person that you ask. I think everyone wants to be the person that people can ask to do things, because it's, want to be the person who's fun to bring along on things. And you can't be that person if you say no to everything. Trust me. So I'm working on that. But when it comes to the main reason why I can't go a day without saying no is because I have kids. And it is just a constant, never ending. You know, they ask for things. And I say no to a lot of things, but I don't say no to everything. And that's why they keep asking for things because, you know, I love this about them because from their perspective, like, you know, it's just ask. And I'm really happy about that because I get a look into their minds and their wants and their needs. And sometimes they ask for ridiculous things, but like, well, most of the times they ask for things that they know that they're not going to get. But every now and then I give them something that, you know, they don't normally get because I don't want to be the boring no-sayer. So yeah, I guess I've earned the position to be the one that they ask for everything because they don't know, like they don't fucking know when it's no day or when it's a yes day. So they're always trying to figure it out. Honestly, I kind of enjoy it. And I'm actually thinking of doing that this Christmas to have a yes day and just tell them that, you know, or some early morning when they're having breakfast and be like, today I will say yes to everything and just let them have, you know, I don't fucking know, candy for breakfast and just, I don't know, we'll see where their minds go. I think that's also one of the things that I would find very interesting about doing something like that, to kind of see what things that they what things that they ask for when they know that I can't say no. I think that'd be fun. I saw it like on my daughter's watching this it's kind of a vlog thing with an adult that does, it's for kids, like it's one of the, it's a kids show here in Sweden where it's this vlog. Anyway, this woman in this vlog, she has she gives her daughter one of these days where she can't say no. It's a lot of fun. Of course, I mean, if they ask to go to the moon, I won't be able to say yes. And if they ask me I mean, I guess there has to be some kind of limitations because I mean, obviously I'm not going to sell the house and buy, you know, candy for the money or whatever. But, you know, within reason.
Exit now.
I think that'd be kind of fun. why. Yes, I married a nerd. And I married a nerd for a couple of reasons. One of the biggest reasons I married a nerd is because she's a nerd, and I fucking love nerds. I grew up on the streets, pretty rough. I've always had nerd tendencies, I suppose. I've always been into going into, geeking out on something. And I've always seen these things, like, in the periphery of my life that nerds do. And I've always felt like I wish I was one of the nerds who could just do the things. I don't know why I didn't just do the things that the nerds do. But, like, it was just such a completely different world from the world that I was living in. And it's not like I was a gangster or anything, but that was for the most part of my life. That was just a world that was too far away from anything. And oh hey, we're moving into Norway. Anyway, so I meet this woman. And she's like, I can tell that she's a fucking nerd. And she's got friends that are nerds. And it just made me so happy. And to her, it's just natural because she's always been a huge nerd. And like, when I started dating her, she opened up this world to me, this world of nerds. And I got to do the things that nerds do. I started playing Warhammer 40k, and it was
Get ready to turn right.
one of the happiest moments of my life when she introduced me to her friends that were playing Warhammer 40k. And they were like, "Oh, do you play?" And I'm like, "No, of course not. I'm not a fucking nerd." Externally. But so I started, and her and me, we started playing Warhammer 40k together, and also with her friends. It was a great moment of my life. It just kept going with nerdy stuff, and it's always been present. Everything from Lord of the Rings to Harry Potter to, video games to Star Wars and just everything. She's always had this, she knows all this stuff, and she knows, like with everything, she knows more than me about almost everything in this world. And in so many ways, she has filled a huge hole in my life. And the nerd aspect of her is, of course, one of those huge holes that she could fill in my life. That's it. Let's unload it. Alright, we are checking off Mikkeli, Finland. That was the pickup, and then the drop off in Hamar, Norway. We are 3 for 6 for Norway, 1 for 6 for Sweden, and 4 for 6 for Finland for completing the World of Trucks event, cruising Nordic Horizons. But since this is the Truck Sim Diaries, cruising Nordic Horizons, we still have a lot to go. Alright, set for the job, and I did keep an eye on this during the drive. 885 kilometers for 35.1 liters per 100. We were a couple tons heavier than normal. Normally we're about 20 tons. This time we were out 23, but it shouldn't really warrant this high of a fuel economy. However, there was a lot of going through small cities, not a lot of highways, so, you know, I guess that explains it, but still, I would have wanted better than this. No damage for 1 hour and 4 minutes of driving from Mikkeli, Finland to Hamar, Norway. 23 tons of beef. We planned 865 kilometers. It turned out to be 885. We took a ferry and went through a toll gate. Income was 21,204 credits, so it's a pretty good paying job. 3,000 taxes, 1,000 some for other costs, which was the ferry and the toll gate. Fuel was 534. Revenue 16,315. 4 out of 5 stars. 5 out of 5 for damage, 3 out of 5 for distance, 5 out of 5 for fines, 5 out of 5 for fuel economy, 3 out of 5 for mass. That was pretty, I guess that's it's pretty standard. Well, it's very, very standard. 348 hardcore points. And I wish I could go on, but unfortunately, that was it for today. But thank you so much for taking the time with this. I really, really do appreciate it. And remember to take care of yourself. You are important. And you need to last for a long time. Bye.